Warning: due to the unrelenting douchebaggery of Universal, we have been forced to remove all clips from this review and replace them with still shots. Universal continues to be a bunch of dickbags. Now on with the show. Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando, that's Corey, and today we're doing 1993's Hard Target. All right, so before we get started, if you want to follow me or Corey on Twitter, you could follow me at Junior D's. You could follow Corey at Corey Idol. And we're going to get into the cast of Hard Target here. Before we do, I just want to say that this whole Bayou thing, you know, the setting for this movie, it was the only movie I think that was appropriate for Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like, yes. It put him in an actual good spot. He wasn't like Tim Stevens. He was Chance Bordeaux and the French so it kind of all made sense.
Yeah, the only other movie they did that they bothered to give a shit about who he is Universal Soldier, because his parents were also from like Louisiana. Yes. They were French Canadian / Cajun dwellers.
Exactly.
I don't know what you people down there do.
So in honor of Jean-Claude, I will be doing the entire cast in a ridiculous French accent. So
bonsoir, bitches.
Hard Target stars Jean-Claude Van Damme as Chance Bordeaux, Yancy Butler as Natasha Binder, Lance Henriksen as Emil Fouchon, Casey Lemmons as Detective Marie Mitchell, and Armold Vosloo as Pik Van Cleef.
The overwhelming sense of this being a Western was a little too much.
That was my first react, even to like the score.
Yeah, and you bringing up the last character there, whose character's name is Van Cleef.
Yeah,
it's clearly named that after Lee Van Cleef from fucking tons of spaghetti westerns coming up.
Yep.
I mean, if you've seen a Clint Eastwood western, you've probably seen Lee Van Cleef.
Yes, absolutely. And like the slide guitar at the every time like JCVD does anything.
You having fun?
Dude, this is like Louisiana. This isn't, we're in the French Quarter. This isn't a Western. Like,
yeah, I don't think John Woo's ever been to New Orleans.
Outside of the gun that Fouchon uses, which is like circa World War I, it could be a Western single bullet fucking like old ass gun.
Yeah, what gun aficionados, comment down below, because I couldn't figure it out. What caliber round is this fucker using in that gun? Like, is that a 50 caliber round that he's putting in there and not ripping his whole fucking arm off when he shoots just one-handed? Like, it's cool?
It shoots, it fires and kicks back like a cap gun. But like, on the other end, shit explodes when he shoots it.
Dude. Everything explodes in this movie.
They're shooting at dirt at one point with just bullets, and there's explosions happening, and I'm like, did they set mines down before this? Like, I don't know what's going on, but
the streets of New Orleans are literally covered in so much liquor that it just immediately sparks anytime something like that happens.
Tom Cruise can't do the match flip trick in New Orleans anywhere. So
no,
that's
no.
Let's get into this movie. And this film opens up with Bender getting chased through the streets of New Orleans by a gang with motorcycles and a dude with some sort of like harpoon gun weapon thing, and they can't let him get to the river or he's quote unquote won. I don't know what he's won yet, but he's won.
The arrow guy, so he's walking around with his black trench coat and fucking sunglasses at night, which probably explains why he's so fucking bad with the goddamn arrow. That thing has a sight on it the size of fucking Galileo's first telescope. And this motherfucker cannot hit shit.
You're right. It's fact.
One, he can't shoot for shit. And
Right.
two, he decided his weapon of choice was this ridiculous harpoon gun thing. And after Bender is killed with the arrow, Fouchon here looks at him and he says, like, it's like a drug, taking a man down or hunting a man or whatever the fuck he says here.
And by the way, for all you word nerds out there, that is a bastardized Ernest Hemingway quote about hunting men. I'm not going to give the whole fucking quote because I'm not a pretentious dick.
Okay.
But
I don't read, so
I think it's something like there's nothing like the hunting of a man. Like once you've hunted a man, you have no taste for anything else. Something fucking jerky. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was he was a drunken, abusive slob. I have no love for Ernest Hemingway.
I thought that was a Frank Reynolds quote.
You do not go on a manhunt.
We then cut to Natasha Binder, who arrives in town. She's the dead dude's daughter, and she arrives at this bird lady's house looking for her father. She searches for him at local soup kitchens and missions and whatever because her father was a homeless vet.
Kind of the worst daughter ever.
A little bit. They've been sharing like letters back and forth, but she didn't know he was homeless. And
yeah, my guess is that she got shipped to a convent when she was 15 or so. You know what I mean? Like she got knocked up young. Her parents didn't know what to do. They sent her to a convent. And that's why, one, she's playing Nancy Drew in horrible parts of New Orleans, just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
Before even being a Karen was a thing, she is Karening this whole situation.
She is asking for everybody's manager.
Oh, 100%. And two, she literally has no idea where her father is, that he's homeless. She hasn't spoke to him in years. What the fuck are you doing? And at that point, why are you going to search for him?
Yeah, because
why do you care so much now? Because
she's like 30. And it's like you've only written letters back and forth to your dad, and now you're concerned because he hasn't written me in like 3 weeks. Well, why don't you just go and visit him beforehand? Like, you've never visited him and gone, oh my God, he's homeless. I should probably help him out.
You were correct.
The fact that she's 30 is going to come up quite a bit here because they constantly refer to him as her papa and her daddy. It's like, dude, I'm fucking 30. What are we doing with like this script must have been written for like a 14-year-old girl to be on this trip.
No, this was written for JCVD. That's just how he talks.
Your papa,
your daddy. We're going to look for your daddy. I don't know why I went Arnold on it, but whatever. We then cut to a seedy diner, and JCVD is trying to be funny with, by the way, the freshest mullet I have ever seen. Like,
listening.
I almost want to get extensions and rock this look. Like, this look is, in my opinion, my humble opinion, the best JCVD look of all time.
Yes, and what he did to achieve this is, one, grow the mullet, and two, take all of the soul glow in the world and dump it on your hair.
It's slick as shit.
If he went swimming in the ocean, there would be an environmental crisis.
We also in this diner see Nat. She comes in, she flashes like 10 grand and she's just trying to get a quarter for the phone or whatever. And she makes this call. Some goons are watching and they see that she's got cash, and JCVD sees it as well.
Dude, even if they weren't goons, when we've covered this, so I'm not doing another PSA about this.
Yeah.
But even if they weren't goons, if that were me and you sitting in a diner, fucking friendlies, it doesn't matter, and we saw somebody whip out 10 grand in cash, we'd kind of look at each other and be like, yo, should we rob this motherfucker?
Yeah, like you might be getting a pipe to the side of the head and all your cash is mysteriously gone when you wake up. After she makes her phone call, she goes outside to her car. The goons jump her And Chance Bordeaux notices the men following her. He jumps into action here, and he beats the hell out of all the goons and gives Nat her purse back and tells her, next time, be more careful when you show your wallet. And she takes off.
And I will say this, as far as co-stars go, this is probably his best co-star, acting-wise.
Yes.
Because Yancy straight up brought it.
She was really good in this.
Yeah, she did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, and she was acting typically off dog shit. Like coming back, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing giving her any kind of help whatsoever.
She had nothing to play off of. Nothing at all.
This bitch is Rose sitting on a board in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean by herself.
Nat then goes to the police station to file a missing persons report for her father. There's cops outside striking for some reason. The detective, Marie Mitchell, is this lonely detective in the police precinct by herself, having her own, like, lonely birthday party, which never comes up again either. And then she can't be bothered to fill out this missing persons report, and just gives Nat static through this whole process.
This character is an entire miscarriage in writing.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is you have the strike going on outside, right?
Yep.
And here sits the lone detective in this empty police station, still working.
Yep.
So you automatically set her up. If that's the only reason you have the strike, you are setting her up subliminally to be a hardworking, dedicated officer of the fucking law.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And
she's in it.
And I don't know if you noticed, there's a sign at her desk that says something to the effect of, it's not the hours you put in, it's what you put into your hours. Like,
right.
All of those things are setting her up to be this, like, hardworking police officer. I'm dedicated to the job.
Yep. She's working on her birthday. She has no friends because she's a workaholic. They set all of this up.
Yep.
And the first interaction she has with somebody in need, she's like, bitch, I just worked a double shift. Like, she's a fucking waitress at Hooters. What are you doing?
Yes.
I'm in here to fill out a missing persons report. Get the fuck out of here. Come back. I'm still going to be missing tomorrow, right? Get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
Totally not in procedure. They're fucking missing. It's a missing person. Get the fuck out of here with this. They got to be missing from somewhere. Bitch, take your ass outside and strike. Just because you're doing it, you're just doing a peaceful protest from your desk like an asshole.
Yeah. But by the way, you're not putting much into the hours that you're there. So just.
No. And we don't dwell on sensitivity much on this show.
Yeah.
But to say that to a person whose father is missing, I'm here to fill out a missing persons report. I'm worried about my father. She's clearly upset. You know what I mean? She's holding her shit together, but she's clearly upset. And you're just like, yeah, he's fucking a bum.
Natasha then asks JCVD to be her escort while she searches for her father. JCVD turns her down because he's got to get on a boat and things, but he owes union fees or some shit, and he can't get on the boat, so he goes back to Nat and takes the job with her, and they go on their little Scooby-Doo mission.
Hi, negotiators. Uncle Corey here. If you need a specific amount of money and somebody's willing to pay you more than that, just take it. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? It's like, I will do this for $217. She's willing to pay you $100 a day, and I get it. You're like, I'm going to get on a fucking boat in a couple days after I say, here's this homeless guy.
Yep.
I'm out of here. Fair enough. But that's $17 over asking price. You saw the wad of cash she's carrying around.
Yes.
Take a little bit more.
Yeah, do the $100 a day. You're with her for a fucking week.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, what she would have paid you at the end of this movie is more than $217. But she's literally, after everything you went through, she's going, here's $217, bro. Peace. Because there is zero love story between these two whatsoever. Not even a fucking hint of it.
Yep. Exactly.
Not even. I love it.
I was gonna say, I've said it in how many movies? I appreciated that.
Yes, this is a business transaction.
Yes.
And they both get involved in sort of like, oh, you've been loyal to me, I'm loyal to you kind of thing. They're good people.
They then find some of her father's things at this local mission. Elijah Roper, played by Willie Carpenter, says he found his shopping cart with his suitcase, his sleeping bag, and some nudie flyers that he passed out for money from like some local shady guy.
And I got to say, the etiquette of the homeless community in southern Louisiana is amazing. If we could all act like that, we wouldn't have very many problems at all, because this dude has a cart full of shit in a homeless camp
and nobody touches it.
Hasn't been touched.
Yep.
Not a fucking thing is out of that.
And one guy comes up to the cart and Roper's like, hey, be mindful, dude. This is not your shit. And he's like, dude, my bad. I'm going to walk away. Like, super polite. There's no like, dude, I'm sorry. There's bum fights over that cart. Just FYI in real life.
Dude, when I was 16, a bum fucking tried to attack me for like $2. Like, what are we talking about here? But I should have grown up in fucking New Orleans instead of an Arizona trash bag.
But they go and check out this sleazy dude, Randall Poe, who pays homeless military vets to pass out nudie flyers around town, apparently. And as they're questioning him, Van Cleef walks in and gives off his creepy vibes, and JCVD and Nat leave. After they leave, Nat gets approached by a cop who says they found her dad's body, and the cop said that his body was burned in an abandoned building fire. It then cuts to Van Cleef and Fouchon, who show up at Poe's place, beat the hell out of him, and reveal here that they pay Poe to give them homeless dudes to hunt, and then they charge rich dudes to hunt for these homeless guys.
You said they beat the hell out of him. They fucking Van Gogh the dude. Have you noticed that theme too with JCVD movies? They got a thing for ear violence.
Yes.
And I don't get it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know what it is, but there's lots of losses of ears and pieces of ears and things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you're not shooting me in the dick like they did in In Too Deep, but at the same time, I got big fucking ears, man. You need to leave them things alone.
Van Cleef and Fouchon are now mad because the Bender had family and that's asking questions now, and they set up another hunt and ask Poe to get them another homeless dude that doesn't have any attachments and people that'll look for him and yada yada.
Hi, human traffickers and murderers. Uncle Corey here. If you are so dissatisfied by your homeless wrangler that you have to cut his fucking ear off, find another homeless wrangler.
Or, I don't know, do it yourself.
Everything continues to go tits up. Because they continue to use this fucking, what turns out to be a human punching bag of a character in Poe. Yes. Stop using the fucking, like, I'm sorry, if I'm in the criminal industry like they are,
yes,
just kill this fucking guy, put one of your henchmen in his place, and move on.
There you go.
What are we talking about here?
We then cut to Van Cleef and Fouchon looking into Boudreaux and his history in the military, and they decide to send some lads to have a chat with him.
Is there any way in the world that a normal guy can just do cool things too?
No.
All of these characters are always like ex-military and ex this and ex that. Just be a fucking guy. I'm sorry, but like, you are so... I know Lance Henriksen, as great as he is in this movie as a bad guy, you are so outmatched by ex-military version of JCVD. Like, do I even need to watch the fucking end of the movie? You know what I mean? They're injured and they're walking away with arms around each other. Great.
You're right again.
The ex-military thing explains away a lot of things. Like,
oh, it totally does. You just skip all over exposition.
It's super easy to just like, he's ex-military, he's black ops, he's this, that, and the other, and you know, whatever. because it explains away any of his knowledge, his skills, and all of that shit.
Right, exactly. Like I would love it, and maybe this is something I should just do instead of talking about it. But I would love it if somebody would like normal guy, kind of Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah,
This same kind of situation, like just everything I've experienced through my life, all these weird little things, growing up poor, being homeless, growing up in the bayou, et cetera, all comes into play with me being able to survive. But I'm just a guy.
JCVD here begins his investigating and snooping around the fire that Nat's father was in, and he finds his dog tag with the arrow hole in it amongst all of the ash. Cool. And then he gets jumped by the two lads who tell him to get out of Dodge and tell Natasha to get her tits up north or whatever the fuck they say to him.
And tell that bitch girlfriend of yours to point her titties north and step on the gas.
And I don't,
Okay.
what is that supposed to do? Like, she's a woman? Great.
In case you guys didn't know, this character's a woman and she needs to get her tits and get them up north.
Yankee titty having bitch.
And then after this whole thing, JCVD gets arrested for trespassing and he gets taken to the police station. He and Nat talk to the detective and he gives his evidence, the dog tag of why Binder was murdered and it wasn't just this fire. And now the chase is on. And this lazy cop who, listen, at the end of the day, Detective Mitchell here is going, great, you found a hole in a dog tag. He died in a fire. This could have happened 10 years ago. And it's just one of his dog tags. Like, get the fuck out of my office. You already set her up as this piece of shit at the beginning of the movie. She's not, and we've covered it in past movies. Cops don't want to go like, oh, this difficult thing happened and I gotta detect thing. No, it was a fire. He's dead. Get out of my office. Like, that's where this is going. Poe then gets the homeless vet, Roper, who helped Nat earlier, to be the next hunted homeless man. And Van Cleef sets up the details for this rich dude, Mr. Zidane, or whatever the hell his name is. And they charge him.
Never have been out there in the first fucking place.
Yes. And they charge him like $500,000 for this hunt.
Yeah, there is no way that guy wakes up in the mirror and goes, I wonder what it's like to fucking kill a guy. Like, that's the kind of guy that wakes up and is like, I wonder if I should have strawberries on my waffles. There's no fucking way he wants to experience this in any way.
No, this boiled goose-eating motherfucker is not hunting men. It's just not happening.
He couldn't handle a mouse.
JCVD then drops in on Poe at this like seedy rub and tug and finds out that the city coroner, Dr. Morton, is covering up murders committed by Fouchon and his men. And Detective Mitchell then goes to Dr. Morton for another autopsy on Binder's body. Dr. Morton gets all scared, so he starts burning files at his home because apparently there are mountains of files when you do a fake autopsy that you randomly kept at your house. So... Whatever, dude.
The key to any criminal act is paperwork. A long paper trail will just make sure you skate right by everything.
Fouchon then drops in on Dr. Morton at his house while he's burning files. And the doctor tells Fouchon that Mitchell wants another autopsy and he's scared. The doorbell rings and Van Cleef kills Morton as he looks through the eye hole in the door.
Lance Henriksen and Van Cleef come to the conclusion here that it's time to pick up and move on, right? Like they're talking about going to Eastern Europe, shit like that.
Yeah, they were talking about this is the last hunt.
Tonight is our last hunt in New Orleans.
So what are you doing? Like you go through this whole fucking mess and it's just
tying up loose ends.
Leave. Nobody knows your name. You know what I'm saying? Like
we all know Emil Fouchon is a fucking fake name.
Exactly. You have kept yourself in the dark like Kaiser Soze.
Yes.
This entire time.
Yeah,
And
nobody.
now,
It's
because
not like
people are looking into something that has no evidence attached to it whatsoever. You want to kill the fucking mortician or the coroner because he's getting skittish?
Yeah.
Cool. Totally believe that. After that, pack your bags, Van Cleef. We're flying first class to Bulgaria, bitch.
And get the fuck out. Like, that's it. So the next hunt begins. And Roper gets his 5-minute head start that, let's be honest, is about 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. There was not a fair one Mississippi kind of count with this.
No, there was no stopwatch. It was like, he starts running. He got about a block away, and they were like, all right, motorcycle guys, go track him down and tell us where he's at. It was like a 4-second fucking head start.
Yeah, and by the way, even if it was a fair 5-minute head start, he's on foot. You're on motorcycles. That's not a hunt.
No,
you're on a game reserve where they're just all cornered. Like,
listen,
if you're gonna hunt a human being, be a fucking man and hunt the fucking guy. Like, come on.
Yeah. Can we all just agree that we're gonna be gentlemen about this? You're gonna run on foot, I'm gonna run on foot, and I'm gonna try to kill you. Can we just do that? The chase is now on. Roper's chased through the cemetery and he's shot. He gets away when the rich dude doesn't want to kill a wounded man. And Roper then finds him, jumps on the rich dude, kills him with the automatic giant rifle that he has. And then he escapes through the streets of New Orleans. And after Roper fails to find anyone to help him in the street, he's gunned down literally in the middle of the street by Van Cleef. And then Van Cleef takes his money belt. End of story.
If you've ever been to Bourbon Street, any time of year, that's kind of what it looks like. Bourbon Street is packed, and the rest of it is fucking dead.
Yes.
And it's terrifying.
Here's a don't do that, okay? Hi, everybody. Any travelers that might want to check out, New Orleans and yada, yada. There's a lot of cool stuff to do. There's a casino there down by Bourbon Street. There's a lot of the boats that you can take, up and down the Mississippi or whatever. There's a lot of cool stuff, but and anybody that is in New Orleans will tell you this: do not veer from Bourbon Street. Don't go, that lit up door in this alleyway looks cool. Is that like a hidden club? Don't do that. Stay on Bourbon Street, hit the bars, go back to your fucking hotel and go home. Everything will be fine. The minute you veer a half a block off of Bourbon Street, you're dead.
Oh, yeah. I did that one time. I went to Bourbon Street. Wasn't Mardi Gras. But went to Bourbon Street. Wandered off Bourbon Street because I got it in my drunk ass head that I needed to find a real jazz club. Made it about half a block and went, oh, nope, directed by Jordan Peele, and turned the fuck around and went right back to Bourbon Street. No fucking way. Taxi cabs are your best friend.
Yes, after you get accosted by a witch doctor for the first time, you'll never do it again. Poe then packs his bags to leave town. He gets into his car, and Van Cleef tracks him down and blows his brains out in broad daylight with a shotgun. Van Cleef is like so nonchalant, and he's like, oh, you hurt my feelings. You're going to leave town. And then boom, and then his brains are just all over the inside of the fucking car. Like, that was awesome.
Love that scene. Hate the fact that he's like, why were you sticking around? Because they don't show up. Like, it's not like they hear the gunshots.
Yes.
When the three of them show up.
Yeah.
Like, he's standing there for a minute and jerking off.
Yes.
Sees the flashers coming, and he's like, oh, dip, I gotta go.
And this is what I don't get. This is what I don't get about this scene. So he shoots dude. You see the cop car come, which is Detective Mitchell with the Scooby-Doo gang in the back. Yep. And, because you take civilians to all the crime scenes.
Of course.
And they're ambushed by Van Cleef. Okay, they get into this big gunfight in the streets. And then out of nowhere, you get a truck full of like goons that, were they around the corner? They come out of nowhere. They're blasting everybody. Yeah. Mitchell gets shot. They're hiding behind car doors. You know, JCVD's shooting guns now. And there's now 15 goons just that are that magically appear like fucking David Copperfield out of nowhere.
Yeah,
And
there are scenes periodically throughout this movie that let you know that this is a John Woo flick.
Oh,
and this
are,
is
are you talking about the birds and every goddamn doves in every fucking scene?
But this is one of them.
Yes.
Where literally every bad guy, not just in New Orleans, not just in Louisiana, not just the southern United States, every bad guy this country can possibly offer the world is descending upon Chance the cop and Yancy Butler.
Yes.
And it is fucking insane. And all he has to do is lay down flat on the hood of a car.
Yes, and you can't shoot him.
Hi, fighters with guns, Uncle Corey here. Don't do that. Seek cover.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple. Yeah, but he doesn't. He gets on the hood and he's shooting back and killing like the goons on the motorcycles. He shoots the driver of the truck that Van Cleef is in.
The angle he shoots that driver at.
Oh, he's pretty dope.
He's using the same bullet that fucking Ghost Dog used to get over the pipes.
My favorite is that he like the spin kicks the other dude on the motorcycle, which I know that, you know, yes, JCVD does use guns in this movie and Time Cop. But the mix of the karate and the guns, I really appreciated in this movie.
Scene.
Well, yes,
you can't say in this movie because he stops using them. This is it. I don't know if he blows his hip out kicking the guy on the motorcycle, which is probably what should have happened. But
what he does is, and I'll get to it later, he basically just kicks dead people in like the final fight scene. But so he gets the bike. JCVD and Nat leave Mitchell for dead and ride to get away from Van Cleef and his gang.
And I know she sucked as a character, but why was she? There's no point in killing her, is there?
Not really.
You've already established how bad these fuckers are.
Yeah.
Leaving her wounded hurts nothing, and you still don't have to bring her back at the end of the movie, other than maybe for her to deliver her resignation papers.
The chase then ensues here as JCVD is shooting guns, jumping through fire. They get to like this dead end, and with his back to the wall, he rides towards the truck chasing him while standing on the bike, and somehow the bike continues to accelerate without his hands on the actual motorcycle. And he's firing a gun at them, does some crazy parkour shit over the truck, and keeps shooting and blows up the truck.
Hi, jackasses. Uncle Corey here. Do not try this stunt. You will fucking die.
Yes.
This is the most ridiculous shit I have ever. I'm like, oh, he's going to shoot the guy, sit back down on the motorcycle, swerve away from the accident. All is cool. You know, do like a cool like skid stop.
Yeah.
Like, woo-woo, just focus on his eyes again, and everybody's happy. Nope. This motherfucker gets hit by the car.
Yes.
Flips over the hood, lands on his feet, takes a stumble, and then dusts off his shoulder like he's in a fucking Jay-Z video. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Fouchon then shows up to this whole debacle that's happening in the streets. And, you know, he uses the old school gun and tries to shoot them as JCVD and Nat jump on a train and take off.
Break their backs jumping onto a train.
Yes.
That landing was hard as fuck.
Exactly. And listen, we covered this. Here's a don't do that. Hi, main bad guy out there who's watching this. We've covered this in Tango and Cash. If you're the main bad guy, don't show up at these random crime scenes that are happening. Like, you are in, for all purposes in this movie, you are a rich bad guy who is paying people to be goons and ride motorcycles and whatever. You're fronting the money for this whole outfit. Just let them do their job. What are you showing up in your fucking drop top Benz with the fucking old school World War I gun trying to kill people that only shoots one bullet at a time. Stop it with that bullshit. Don't do that.
Yeah. Ultimately,
anyway.
like, you look like an asshole. Put all the fucking theatrics away, drink milk at your club meetings, and you'll be fine. You'll put up the same fucking image.
Now there's one more hunt to do, and they got to hunt JCVD and Nat, and Fouchon gets all his men together, and, you know, this time it's for all the marbles. And at this point in the movie, I actually looked it up because I'm like, oh, it's got to be close to the end. There's still 30 minutes left in this movie. And I was like, so much has happened in this movie so far. In the hour that it's played, there's still like another 34 minutes left in this fucking movie.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, the mystery here is solved quickly because you're letting us know what's going on.
Yes.
Before the main characters do. So
yeah, but
we're like,
hey,
why am I watching you two figure this shit out when I already know what the fuck happened? It's the same thing that happened in Time Cop.
Yep. Well, and apparently they were like, you know, we need 30 minutes to show the chase and the hijinks that they get into on the way to the final fight, because we see JCVD punching a snake and chewing off his rattle because that's cool. He wants to leave a booby trap for the hunters.
That was a dope booby trap. I mean, it's bullshit, but it's fucking dope.
No, it was dope, but like comedy and things. Cool. But then
I'm never going to say comedy in a fucking JCVD movie ever again. It doesn't exist. I don't care what he tries.
No.
And French people, can we just get over with you guys trying to be funny? You don't have it.
No.
You're incredible at so many things.
Yes.
Comedy ain't it.
Nope.
Just telling you, bro.
And then we get to see JCVD going to his Uncle Duvet Cover's barn in the bayou somewhere, like in the backwoods of the fucking bayou. And he's like, diabetes, check your sugar and check it often.
So, you got diabetes.
Wilford Brimley playing a French Cajun guy you said there's no comedy in JCVD movies. This is all the comedy I needed. Wilford Brimley playing a Cajun French guy was absolutely hilarious.
You're right. It's fact.
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with JCVD. That was all the brilliance of Wilford Brimley.
Yes, it was.
100% all about him. And he nailed it. He was fantastic. And you can tell how good he is because when he talks, for the most part, the other characters don't have any lines.
Yeah.
Like, they just do a flash cut to the other character's reaction, like, oh, Uncle Billy, you are fucking crazy. And then they flash back to Wilford, who has to finish up with the actual scene.
They get JCVD's old shotgun here, and he takes off on a horse and rides off, whatever.
And they make this shotgun seem like it's mythical.
Yeah, but they don't, they don't show, like, why it's like, he's like, oh, JCVD, I have your old shotgun. I don't have the 50 caliber gun you gave me, but I have this one here. And he blows the dust off of it and kind of looks at it fondly.
Yeah. The music kicks up.
But there's no
thing about it.
But again, outside of like, oh, he's this is why ex-military explains away everything. It's like, oh, he's ex-military. That must be the shotgun he used in, I don't know, Grenada or wherever the fuck he fought. So
hot tip. This isn't fucking Sweden. They don't let you take your guns home when you're done with military service.
Uncle Diabetes then blows up his whole farm when Fouchon and his men show up, and he and Nat ride away on horses. And them on the farm, like, arguing here because they get in a helicopter and they chase JCVD. And they argue about, like, oh, I could just take him out from the air. No, we're going to make it harder on ourselves. Let's get him on the ground. And I want to make this personal.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Hey, man, I could take him out easier if we just, get him in the helicopter. Cool. We'll be at fucking Bennigan's. See you in a minute.
Exactly. Let's have a drink and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, what do you want, the Grand Slammy? Is that what we're rolling with at Denny's this week?
But they find JCVD in the helicopter, chase him to some sort of factory or like abandoned plant that doubles as Mardi Gras storage. JCVD traps them in the Mardi Gras float room, and he starts blasting. Uncle Diabetes and Nat show up, and he starts putting arrows through people, and JCVD continues to play cat and mouse with the dudes. He's shooting guns. He's karate kicking already dead people. Two things here. One, JCVD, I've noticed this through all the movies we've done of his. This is why you have to have him do more karate than less in these movies. It's an art form when he does karate on screen. Like, he makes it look so good that it's like when you don't let him do that, you're doing him a disservice. And in turn, you're doing us a disservice. But he's shooting people in the chest 5 times. They're dead and falling. And then he's like, hi-ya! And then he does like a quick kick. Like, the dude's dead. What are you kicking him for?
Yeah, and this is just dumb.
And FYI, going back to what you said earlier about he didn't shoot anybody in the dick, he shoots somebody in the dick here. Good on you, JCVD. And it's right before JCVD kills Van Cleef, because him and Van Cleef get into a little standoff, which is ridiculous.
Which he used for Face Off. Like 2 years later. It's the literal same fucking scene.
It is.
God damn it, John Woo. Like, at what point do we just like start taking away some credits here?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you're not an incredible action director. You're one of the best that ever lived. But at the same time, every fucking movie's got doves. Every movie's got this fucking split screen where we can see both characters talking across the wall. And you got the fucking goons coming out of every angle.
And it's not just
exhausted. Listen, you can only have one signature. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And it's not just the split screen. You got the wall in between and the two characters. It's identical to Face Off because it's the two dudes talking to each other, and then they both load their weapons, turn around, and shoot through the wall. It's exactly shot for shot, exactly the same.
Yep.
And again, John Woo is brilliant, but like, you know, you're going to get one of those shots. You know, you're going to get the doves. You know, you're going to, there's certain things that you're just going to see. Some of it just gets, he made his own cliches.
100%. 100%. Which, I mean, you got to be a boss to do that. But at the same time, strive to be fucking better.
That's right.
This fight scene here, too, with like, Van Cleef is the big, like, I know Lance Henriksen's the money guy and the boss.
Yeah.
But Van Cleef is the big bad. He's the guy you are going to have to go through, and he's going to be a motherfucker to go through.
Yeah.
Nope. Not in this movie. It's all about the guns.
No, and to be honest, he might be the big bad, but that's a, pun intended. Fouchon is the big sad here because after Van Cleef gets killed, Fouchon takes this very hard.
Oh, yeah.
He takes it harder than like the big boss man would take losing his like big bad guy.
Yes.
Like screaming into the air. And yeah, JCVD and Fouchon here go through their back and forth. JCVD flips through a fire, shoots Fouchon with a shotgun, blows him across this factory, but he somehow doesn't feel it, gets up, stabs Uncle Diabetes, takes Nat as a hostage, and then there's this standoff where he throws all of his leverage in Nat off to the side, giving JCVD enough time to, jump, kick, hi-ya. JCVD then beats his ass.
Sorry, I got to stop you because...
No, do your thing.
He has one round for each shot.
Yes.
Right? It's a one-shot gun. Lance Henriksen has.
Very impractical, by the way.
Your gun is so impractical that this man can run. Run at you.
His gun was already loaded, by the way.
Yeah, but you're clicking it closed at that moment. And it takes you that long to stretch out your arm, aim, and cock it back.
He was 20 feet away.
just guys, it might not look cool, but regular guns do the job more often than not.
JCVD then beats his ass, puts a grenade in his pants, and it explodes. And we get the, hey, they stabbed my flask, so I'm okay. Everything's fine. And they limp away. And this is the end of the movie. But I do have a question to ask about this whole, because he has the grenade for the last 5 minutes of this movie in his hand. So he's putting it in somebody's mouth. It's going in a shirt. It's going up somebody's ass, whatever. So we get the dropping it in your pants. Cool. You could just have it end with him trying to fumble to get it out of his pants and it just blows up. This whole thing of him pulling it out of his pants, unscrewing the fuse, staring at it going, ha ha ha, I thwarted the grenade. Oh no, sparks and things. Why was that there? What was that for?
I have no fucking idea. Hi, kids, Uncle Corey here. If you ever in an unfortunate situation where you have a grenade stuffed down your pants, or really thrown anywhere near you, one, you should run. Yes. But two, assuming you have like a 5-minute fucking delay on the charge, pick it up and throw it the fuck away.
That's it.
Why he's unscrewing this thing is beyond me.
I don't know.
This isn't like there are like some detonators you can use with like C4 where you got to unscrew the detonator to pull the fucking charge out and blah, 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 blah. Right. You're clear. Yeah. That's not how this works.
You were right.
If you're going to fucking use a grenade in a movie, just use it correctly.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? There are other explosives that make boom boom and big fireballs. That's not what fucking grenades do.
Yes. All in all, though, I mean, this movie was more entertaining, and I've been using the term entertaining in the word very loosely lately, and I apologize to everybody out there for that. But this was definitely more entertaining than Time Cop.
Yes.
This was more of what I would have expected out of a JCVD movie.
Yes.
Like if you said JCVD, John Woo, go. This is exactly what I'm picturing.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue was trash. I didn't like that at all. The plot was kind of cool. Guys hunting homeless guys, and the plot was kind of ingenious. I liked it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the dialogue sucked. The action sequences were pretty good. There was things blowing up for no reason. I didn't like that. It was okay. I mean, I probably won't ever watch this again. But
oh fuck no! Look, if you are into the hunting people kind of movie, I got a list as long as Armando's dick.
So you got two movies?
That's right. 2 movies. I have three. But one, if you want newer, I would go with The Hunt.
Fantastic movie.
Starring Betty Gilpin.
Yep.
Who's fucking brilliant in it. Great
Absolutely.
Movie. Two, and probably more close to what this is supposed to be, and I can't believe I actually have to say this, Surviving the Game with Ice-T and Rucker Howard. I love that movie. And it's literally the same premise, hunting homeless people for sport. And three, where this all came from, The Most Dangerous Game, was a book. They turned it into a movie. It's an old black and white movie. I mean, old black and white movie. Super short, though. Totally worth your time. It is literally the first hunting human being kind of book movie thing that was ever made. Yeah. I love it. It's one of my favorites. And if you're a freak, the Zodiac Killer really liked it too. So
there you go.
It's a little more enticing for you. But yeah, no, I mean, as far as the JCVD movie goes, it's not Bloodsport. It's not Universal Soldier. It's not even Cyborg. Again, I can't stress this enough. Those three movies, he kicked people.
Yeah. It was all action. It was him. There was no acting involved. There was no, again, we said this before, like this came out before Time Cop. He was acting in this. He was acting in Time Cop. It's like, bitch, just be kicking people. Like that's all I want to see is action and kicks. There was too many explosions for a JCVD joint. Although it was better than Time Cop, it's still not better than any of those movies you just mentioned.
No, not at all. And I think action movies, I think we can sum this up from here on out. I got it. I just thought of this. It is literally how Dennis Reynolds describes writing the movie for Dolph Lundgren.
Smells crime, back to the lab, full penetration, crime, full penetration, crime, penetration. And this goes on and back and forth for 90 or so minutes until the movie just sort of ends.
Yeah. Show me fucking ass kicking, show me some titties, show me a quick fucking like, oh, he's not a complete fucking moron kind of scene, like he figures something out.
Yep.
And boom, movie's fucking done. I'm happy.
Exactly.
This was about as good as he can get, though, acting wise, and I give all that to John Woo.
I was gonna say the good parts of this movie and the parts that were entertaining and that were fun. Mm-hmm. That was all, tip of the cap to John Woo on that.
Yes, and Yancy Butler did a great job. Wilford Brimley did a great job with his comedic relief.
Yeah.
Lance Henriksen was a great bad guy. Van Cleef had the potential to be something good if he actually fought. But he never did. He just boomala with his guns.
Yeah.
And that gets boring after a while.
It does. It really
and that's
does.
where I found myself by the end of the movie. Just fucking bored.
Yep. Same. Well, what movies do we have coming up?
Saturday Night Fever. When Harry Met Sally. Life. The brilliant comedy with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. And Clerks.
Actually, some good ass movies coming up. So.
Oh, yeah. People are bringing it. And these are all PayPal, by the way. So if you have a PayPal request, get it in. If you have any request, submit it through PayPal. I cannot stress that enough. We are getting a lot of new requests from a lot of new viewers. I love it. PayPal is the way you have to go right now if you really want to see your movie anytime soon.
Yep.
Still writing it down, still keeping track. We still have an order. We're just not able to break away from PayPal right now.
Yep. And just an FYI, please, if you want to like it and comment, that's awesome. But share this because we obviously do zero promotion for ourselves. But we've got a lot of messages recently, whether it's in the comments or on Twitter or whatever, of, people like, you guys should have more subscribers. And that's awesome. And we would love to have more subscribers. But we're just lazy and we don't promote ourselves. So if you could help us with that and share this with everybody that would be dope. But
yeah, pretend like we're your millennial kids and just do it for us.
Yeah, exactly. And with that said, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1993's Hard Target.